you have to hustle, you have to grind, you have to dig.
Right.
There's so many things that come with basketball, like even my teammates, my loyalty, like certain things like that I do as a team to be a team player. So that's something that also when you were talking about when clients and people hire me, you have to be a team player. Like
Exactly.
there's a lot of people out there that don't want to be a team player.
They do not.
And listen, I was the sixth man, came off the bench, but I remember my coach telling me, like, you're going to have to sit. But at the same time, I remember when I sat, I'm like, I've never sat, came off the bench. Like, who do you think I am, right? So then when I had to think about it, I'm like, okay, when I get in, I have to do whatever we need so he cannot take me out.
Today, I'm speaking with Maria Clifton, better known as DJ Ria. Maria is more than a successful DJ at an A-list celebrity events and for major brands. She's a Wilhelmina model for Nike and Reebok. She's also an on-air personality for SiriusXM and an in-game host for the New York Islanders and New York Liberty. Welcome, DJ Ria.
Pew, 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 pew. Thank you.
Thank you for doing this. We're good.
I'm so excited to be.
So cool. I was reading your bio. We worked together before. I'm more fascinated, not more fascinated, just generally fascinated by your path to where you are now. You had a early career as a basketball player professionally, and now you're a DJ, and you're a New York Islanders in-game host, and I think we'll dig deeper into what that is and what that entails. But I want to hear your backstory and how you got to where you're at.
Of course. First off, thanks for having me. Super excited. I'm glad to be a part of this. Shout out to your audience and everybody listening. So I'm born and raised in New York. I started on the path, just like you said, playing sports my whole life. So that's kind of how I got integrated. I'm from New York, so like I'm Manhattan, downtown, LES, Lower East Side girl. And I grew up playing street ball my whole life. So not only did it transition to professional, which then led me to where kind of I'm at now, but the twist in between there, I owe everything to sports, just so everybody knows.
Okay.
Sports has been my life, my background, everything that I have put into sports. Sports has given me back and twice, like triple and quadruple, 10 times more fold. So I'm so grateful to be able to play sports, to gain family, teammates, connections, because that's really kind of how I got all in the mix, through these connections in networking, and that all had to do with basketball. So like when I was in college, I ended up getting an internship with the New York Knicks, right? And the New York Knicks, right? I ended up working basketball camps with them when I was 14 years old. So I did like, they have a place called Basketball City, not the one that's on the Lower East Side,
okay.
by, South Street. This one used to be by Chelsea Piers. So I was there, got with them. And I remember in college when I had to do my internship, I was thinking of places to go. My mom's like, hey, you should call your old boss from the Knicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I call them, they say, hey, we can get you in. So that fast forward now, I play basketball, got a scholarship in college, played overseas. I come back home and I call my boss again, same boss, and said, hey, do you have a position open still over at the Knicks? Because they had a spot open before I left to go play overseas and stuff. And then they were like, oh, we do. So I'm like, perfect. Come back. And I'm playing from basketball. Now I'm playing in the big leagues at MSG. Wow. So I'm working in the front office at Madison Square Garden for the New York Knicks. I did field marketing, community relations. I ended up working for the New York Islanders for 3 years. I was the floor director and I ran the arena floor, which was one of the coolest jobs in life because I didn't know anything about hockey. And I remember my boss, who's the best boss in the whole world. Fast forward, he's my boss again now, so we'll get to that. But Ryan Halkett, that is his name. He was the best boss ever. And, he gave me the position because I told him straight front in the meeting. And I'm like, hey, I don't know anything about hockey. I don't know why you guys are hiring me, to be honest with you. I said that. And he's like, it has nothing to do with that. You'll learn the rules and stuff along the way. We're hiring you because of your personality. So I was like, oh, okay. I got personality then. Yeah. All right, cool. So then that gave me, I guess, the confidence kind of now, like I said, to fast forward what I do now, because my old boss, Ryan Hulka, that was at the New York Rangers, is now at the New York Islanders. And that's a full circle for him because he worked there back in the day. But anyways, now he calls me and hires me to come in. And that's how I kind of got the Islanders job, but that's a little bit more fast forward.
Well,
Stick to where we're now. So this is earlier 2000s, but I'm still working at MSG. I also worked for the New York Liberty. I was the fan cam. I directed fan cam for them. So I was like with the Liberty back then, and fast forward again, full circle. I'm working with the Liberty again now, which is like the dream come true. I love them. And so back to the early 2000s still. I'm still working MSG, all that, working for the 3 teams. I ended up leaving there to pursue modeling and acting full time after 6 years.
Okay.
I had a friend that was in the business, and I started off with Ford, got into that. And then I was trying to like find my niche. Like, I'm like, dude, I play basketball. I do all these other things, and I'm doing a lot of commercial and lifestyle modeling, but like I do sports. Like I'm an athlete. Like, so how life works and how I'm going to just tell you right now why, like, it all began with that personality, like, and just believing in confidence in yourself. My life, everything that comes on here from after now that I tell you, literally just is God. Okay. Like, thank you, God, because I wanted to leave Ford. I'm like, what do models do? Like, if I'm not Giselle or whatever, Naomi Campbell, like, you don't just get deals and things all the time. So I'm like, what do you have to do and model? And this is where you talked about like the hustle and bustle of New York and grind. Yeah. So it's like, I gotta get more jobs. Like, I'm not making enough money. So it's like, besides going on castings, people don't understand the backstory and back life of modeling. It's not like, hey, you get a deal. There's some people, yes. And that's like 0.1% that get that opportunity. Other than that, you have to go on castings. You have to do auditions. I used to go to audition classes for like hosting and stuff, not knowing that fast forward, I'm going to be a host, right? Like, I used to just do TV hosting, like, commercial teleprompter stuff, like trying to get acclimated to stuff like that. And then I'm like, okay. So then I ended up picking up a bartending job. I worked at BLT Steak. I was a bartender. And I never bartended in my life, by the way, people. It's not like I said I wanted to go. I just told these people, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a job and this is the type of money I want. And they're like, okay, that money doesn't exist in service and like hosting, like as a maitre d' or whatever, maybe, but like, you have more of a personality for a bartender. What if we train you and you can be a bartender? And I'm like,
so it's that personality thing, right? Keeps coming back.
Exactly. So I'm like, cool. I'm a bartender. I worked for this company for like 8 years. I'm bartending, I'm modeling. And then Ryan Hulka, same boss again, okay? Comes back in the picture, comes in my bar one day. So I'm like, okay,
oh, really?
What's up? And he's
wait,
literally,
so you hadn't seen him for a bit.
Invite him,
right.
Nothing.
You hadn't seen him for a bit. Now you're just modeling and you're bartending, and your old boss walks into the room.
Like 10 years since I probably saw him since the garden, right? So he calls me, maybe it's like 2, 3, 4 years since then. So he walks in the bar. He walks in the bar. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you. What's going on? Da, da, da. So we start chatting. He's like, hey, so like, what are you doing like besides here? And I tell him I'm modeling and I'm acting and doing all this. And he's like, well, do you want like another job? And I'm like, what do you mean? So he's like, so we hire talent he's still at MSG at this point. Like we hire talent, and there's this company called Stage at the point, and they teach models how to DJ. So
really,
I'm
there's a program for this?
Yes, Stage. So it was called STADJ, right? Stage. And they don't exist anymore. It was just back in the day. And he's like, they hire models to DJ. So I was like, why would you bring this to me? And he's like, well, because in high school and grade school, I played 2 instruments. I played violin and flute in a jazz band. I played the flute, and then I played the violin in the orchestra. I sang, I was in choir, I was in plays, So I was very integrated with music, and I love music. So he's like, listen, like, it's like playing like a giant instrument, like, you'll be all right. Like, and I'm like, okay, whatever, Ryan. Like, I don't know why you think this is a good idea, but like, you thought my personality was good, like all these other things, and that ended up working out. So like, I trust you. Cool, whatever. So I started with this company. I'm in 3 years with them. I end up leaving the company and I end up working for myself. But the best part is this company helped establish like kind of my niche, like where I wanted to go within, I wanted to say within all fields of life, but it was like, they had the W Hotel, the Dream Hotel, they had Costa Rica, the Hamptons. So they had a great clientele. So I was like, okay, this is the type of clientele I want to DJ for. So when I kind of went out on my own, I ended up branching off. Main reason why is I had a lot of friends in the industry. I've been partying. I'm from New York. So like we used to have teen nights, stuff like that. So I've been partying in New York since I was a kid, right? And it was way more fun back in the day. No offense. All the parties now are like, like people, we used to party.
Yeah.
I know you know what I'm talking about. I know you know
I've heard about them. I don't,
so like
as much
we
they
used to
should.
exactly. And we used to party and jam. So like I'm within the scene and all my friends were like, hey, why don't you start DJing at these parties? So like I started DJing at Greenhouse, all these top clubs back in the day, Lavo. So it was really cool. So I'm like, okay, I'm DJing at all these cool spots. Like how am I going to make this a thing though? Like there's all these other DJs, like it's a man's world over there.
Men. Yep.
And female DJing, by the way, like besides like Coco Chanel, all these other people, obviously Spinderella, I love you guys, like all of them, like that paved the way. You have to understand, besides all of this, like now it looks like it's so like grandiose because of social media, which is amazing, and we get pushed, but like it became a fad a few years ago. So it wasn't like there were women out there doing their thing, like it's a very male dominated
there was like one or two, I mean, I remember, and everybody wanted those couple of them and at every event back in the day.
Exactly. So I'm trying to like, how can I separate myself from everyone else? Like, what am I going to be good at? Like, how can I be different from every other DJ? Because it's like, think about it. That's what makes the world awesome and unique, is like there's all these different types of chefs, there's all these different type of doctors. Like you guys, we can do everything. There's like plenty of room, plenty of events, plenty of space, plenty of whatever you want to do in life. So I really hate when people like sit there and get jealous or envious of other people instead of big upping people and helping people out, because it's like, dude, there's plenty of space. You have to just really believe in yourself and know like what you want. And it takes time. It's a process. It's not like I woke up and said, hey, I'm going to be this DJ MC. None of this was planned, people. None of this was planned. So it's kind of like, I'm like, how am I going to find myself and separate myself? I don't scratch crazy, like even at the events that I would do, because there was a lot of corporate, like bougie events, so they don't want scratching and stuff like that. And even my bosses, when I was with the company, were like, they taught me how to DJ EDM and dance music first. I never DJ'd hip hop. I never DJ'd R&B because of certain clientele that they were at and venues. So I actually taught myself, because I'm like, I'd be at a venue and people are like, hey, can you put a little Jay-Z on, or maybe a little Nas, or, something. And I'm like, yeah, right. I should, right? So I'm like, I'm just going to start doing my own thing. And that's another reason kind of why I separated too. Cause I was like, hey, I'm getting good at this. And like, people are understanding like, hey, we want you to come back. Cause like all the DJs, all me and the girls, we would rotate different locations. Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays. So one day I would be at like W downtown. Friday I would be at Lavo. And like, so it'd be different every day. So it was fun. So I was never in the same place, but then people were like, hey, can you come back specifically? Like, we like your mixes.
Right.
So
you
that
have a
kept
style.
giving me more.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I was like, what's my niche? Like, so I found that like blending different styles, hip hop sounds, similar sounds. Like I could play a Spanish song, but then it has like, a reggae tone beat, like in that sense, right? So then I can mix it with an Albanian song, because Albanian influence has a lot of like Spanish reggae tone vibes to it. So things like that. And people be like, oh, what is this? But they vibe with it because they're still dancing and mixing. So I kind of like that. Transitions are big. So if you're a DJ and if you're not a DJ, transitions are big. Like if I'm dancing and you're like,
oh no, it's nothing worse than that. Yeah. Everybody gets off the dance floor. Something's wrong.
Yes. Funk Master Flex, we love you, bro, but it's been 20 years that you just stopped the music and everybody's like, but he loves that type of stuff. So shout out to Funk Flex. But no, he really loves that stuff. Like he'll play the song. He's like, oh, this is the #1 song. And stop the song, not even play it and go to another song. And people be like, and you get so mad. And like, also, I remember when I started learning, I did dance, EDM. You got to flow and dance, right? And then if you've ever been to a rave, EDM party, anything like that, or house, like, it's the vibe that you got to build up, and you build everybody up till they get to this point, and then the beat drops and then everyone goes crazy, right? So that's the same thing with transitions. I'm not going to just build you up and like, what's the next song? And go, and fumble the ball. So like that's something I pride myself on. So if you ever hear one of my sets, I'm very big on transition.
That's I have heard some of your sets, and what I love about you, you know, and like I said, I've worked with you before, and I've worked with a lot of DJs, mostly corporate stuff. But at the same point, you also want DJs who play nice, ego, and all that kind of stuff. Because I've worked with, it's like just leave them alone, do their thing. But at the same time, we have to answer to the, you know, we have an audience, if we're, you know, corporate audience, and you do a lot. I don't want to say, I don't want to ruin anything for you, but you know, people have hired you. I've seen you. You know, you did some stuff at the marathon. I heard. I saw you online. People called me and said, "Did you see her at the marathon? Did you see her at the marathon? You were on the what? You were in front of in Brooklyn, right? In front of the
Oh no! So I was at one of the turning points where everybody's on Fifth Ave that goes to Central Park.
Oh, you're
so
right
it's
in
like
the
the big
city.
that goes to Central Park. Yeah. So shout out to New Balance. I can't wait to work with you guys again for that. But it was awesome. I'm so grateful and thankful because that was definitely a bucket list moment. Because from New York City, it's one of our biggest events. It's historically one of the biggest in New York, and to be a part of that and like I have chills right now. Oh, I'm here because like just to see these people like make their day and like give them that extra push because like they're like this dying, you know, and they're like you give them that extra push and to like even my client like came up to me and was like, you are making a difference. They
You
are
are.
really like you're pushing them, and I'm like, you know, so I was just like to be a part of that. And like
for those who may not be watching, we could try to get this on YouTube. I could see you're emotional about this. No, and I've watched the marathon, and you do
no,
get
I'm
really
so
emotional, and
grateful.
you that, and you see it with the runners, particularly they're close to the end by the time they get to Manhattan. It's either you got to really push, not the front ones, they're doing their thing, but the ones that are midway and behind, they need that extra push, and music will do that. So you know, shout out to you for doing that. Now, how do you make that Now, so you're a DJ. So I know we jumped a bit. Now you're doing DJ. You're doing DJ for events and you're at clubs and stuff. How do you go from there back into sports? Or were they never? Was it a gap, or was it always right there next to each other?
So it was always right there, and that's kind of what also made me more comfortable and believing in myself and knowing, hey, like I could do this. Because back to Ryan Hulkett, it's all about your personality. It's like this is why we hire you. Like, so you know, you fake it till you make it type of thing. So like, regardless of whatever, like, and he also was a boss that said, I don't accept no for an answer. So that also was like something. So between that and my background in sports, like if you've ever been an athlete and if you haven't, like I encourage you to get your family, your kids, try it, join a team now. Who cares what age you are? They have all different brackets for sports. Okay. Like 80-year-olds having a basketball league. Like you could do whatever you want, but it gives you a different structure to life, put it this way, because you have to have determination, you have to hustle, you have to grind, you have to dig. There's so many things that come with basketball, like even my teammates, my loyalty, like certain things like that I do as a team to be a team player. So that's something that also when you were talking about when clients and people hire me, you have to be a team player. Like there's a lot of people out there that don't want to be a team player.
They do not.
And listen, I was the sixth man, came off the bench, but I remember my coach telling me, like, you're going to have to sit. But at the same time, I remember when I sat, I'm like, I've never sat, came off the bench. Like, who do you think I am, right? So then when I had to think about it, I'm like, okay, when I get in, I have to do whatever we need so he cannot take me out. So if I needed to get 7 rebounds, I'm getting 7 rebounds. Who cares about scoring? And plus, you have off nights. Do what you can control. And that's the biggest thing in life. I don't worry about a lot of things on the outside. I can only worry about myself and what I can control. So
and it's also,
if I'm worried about all this around me, like that doesn't help me. Like I have to focus on me.
And you have to show your value. I mean, I think that's across the board. I mean, if you're DJing or, you know, and I don't want to get sound bad, but I mean, people have brought, if it's the team, you're adding value to the team. If you're a DJ, you know, you're adding value to the event, or client that's hired, you're adding value to the marathon. You know, you're part of that larger picture. You know, when we worked together at one of the events, you were actually you weren't a DJ. We hired you as Carmen hired you as a DJ, but you were keeping the show going. You kept the momentum going. And then when I saw that you were at the New York Islanders, now I can see you keep that momentum. You're kind of that, and maybe explain to me a little bit more about what an in-game host does, because I have an image in my head. I haven't been to an Islanders game. I've been told I have to go. When I was younger, my parents used to go to hockey, but they're like, you got to go, and it is an experience. And I've been to Bark. I saw the host. I mean, it really is. There's the game, and then there's all the stuff around it. They're not necessarily on TV, that really kind of keeps it cohesive. And you seem like that person that's doing it. So how did you get from now you're a DJ, you're still modeling, I'm assuming. How did you get, so you were called to do the Liberty, the Islanders? How did that come about? And how did I assume it goes back to personality? Like, how do you become an in-game host?
Once again, God, I love you. It's okay. So funny, small circle with my beautiful friend Carmen, who we all know why I was hired with you guys in the first place, how I worked with you. I love you, girl. She knows Edgar Burgos, who's one of my friends. Okay. And I technically got into hosting back when I was working at Madison Square Garden. Okay. Back in like 2000 and I'm not going to say, okay, back early 2000s. Okay. So I'm at a basketball game because I play street ball. I go to this game. So I'm at this game and he's like, hey, Maria, I need you to interview, please, for me. Can you just interview the owner of this tournament? I'm like, no, I'm watching the game. And he's like, Maria, please, like, I need you to do me this favor. And I'm like, bro, okay, fine, whatever. What do you want me to do? So Ricky Rivers, now, family friends, he had this, it's called Fun Sports. It was at Baruch College. So he asked me to host, right? And this tournament had Nate Robinson, Ronaldo Bolkman, a bunch of players that used to play on the Knicks back in the day, playing these tournaments and stuff. So next thing you know, I'm interviewing the guy that runs the tournament. I'm interviewing Nate Robinson, Ronaldo Bolkman. I'm doing all this stuff for him. And I'm like, he ends up producing this show on MSG called Summer Ball. You guys can look it up on YouTube. I have like a reel on my YouTube if you guys want to look it up, like from back in the day. But it was called Summer Ball. And it was all about street ball and sports. And they gave me my own segment called Maria in the Mix. Okay. So if you ever hear me DJing, I go, boop, boop, boop. I have my segment says DJ Ria in the Mix, which is now me futuristic, right? Which is amazing because I asked him, can I steal that Maria in the Mix and make it my thing?
Yeah.
And he's like, of course, I gave you that. So it was the coolest thing ever. I was on MSG. They even had me try out as a Nick City dancer, like through the life of a day of them. I got to dance, all this other stuff. I used to do interviews with Irv Gotti's bowling. All these, what's his name? Anyways, long story short, all these celebrities I got to interview. I'm at, soft charity celebrity events. I'm doing this and this and that, all because of Edgar Burgos, right?
Wow.
So fast forward, Edgar, me, Carmen, we're still all friends within this circle and we still all hang out. So I love you, Carmen. Shout out to Edgar. But I owe him for giving me that opportunity back in the day and the confidence to give me my own segment, all of this on MSG I was on, So in my head, like, I didn't think of it, like, it was like, whatever. But in my head, I'm like, wow, I started off in MSG, like, hosting.
Right. You just were thrown right into it.
Literally. And it was just like, hey, just do this, like as a friend thing. And I'm like, I wasn't even getting paid for it, but I was having the time of my life. I was like, let's just do it, And then finally it came full circle, which is now hosting for now. So I've been hosting for the MLB for the past 11 years. And that's kind of one of the first hosting jobs that I had. I would go to every All-Star with them. And I started off with Arm & Hammer, OxyClean. I love you guys. Shout out to you. They were the ones that hired me. That was my main client. So I traveled with them and I was the spokesperson. So I did trivia. I was with all these celebrity, like, MLB players, like half these people, like I wouldn't even know. And then I got to know because I'm like, wait, I'm in baseball. I got to know these people. So, I'm doing research. I'm adding MLB now to the list. Okay. So I have the NBA, the MLB, I have the NHL, I have the WNBA, right? So we're adding all of these to the circle. So coming full circle now, I get different hosting jobs like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'm like, sure. So then it became a thing. So now Ryan Hulkett, fast forward, calls me again, best boss ever. Like, hey, what are you doing? And this is kind of right before COVID and all that. And he's like, hey, I want to let you know this is what's going to go into effect. Like, are you available if we hire you to DJ? And that's actually how it started, not hosting. It was to come in as a DJ.
Oh, as a
so
DJ.
I was like,
okay,
sure. So I was like, I'll DJ, you know,
that's
because
easy, right?
I had the
Yeah.
opportunity. Yeah, I worked for Jordan Brand. I worked for Nike. These are like other side jobs that I had back in the day. So while I was working at the Garden and I left there to model and act, I told you there's a span of a few years in there that I was like a Miller Lite girl. Like I was doing all these other things.
Right.
I worked for Moet and Chandon. I was just throwing side jobs left and right. So
Gotta do it.
I'm just telling you this only because all of these little jobs, all of these experiences helped me to where I am today. Like the hustle, the bustle, the grind, but networking literally helped me. Besides God, we love you. And then also Ryan Hulkett, back to him, hires me, comes in, I'm a DJ. Okay, I come in as the DJ. So now this is after like COVID starting, because I remember they just got a brand new arena, UBS Arena. If you haven't been, amazing, one of the most beautiful arenas I've been to. You have to go. It's like it's amazing. Just come. I got you tickets. You're coming. So don't worry.
I'm coming.
If you haven't been, shout out to my Isles Nation. I love you guys. Best fans ever. Okay, like love you guys. So I'm coming in, and he's like, so can we give you some speaking lines? Like, because this is like rehearsal. We're doing some stuff in the beginning of the season. And I'm like, sure, give me whatever. Let me know what you want me to say. So I say something, and then like the stage manager looks at me and he's like, listen, do you like host and stuff like that or whatever? And I'm like, no, like I DJ, MC, you know, stuff like that. And he's like, because they're on headset, like saying some good things. Like, this might be a good thing for you. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know? So then they bring me upstairs, and I remember Ryan's like, hey, like, so do you think this is like a thing if we got like maybe have you host? Cause like we were gonna hire another host, but like we feel like this could be for you. And I'm like, okay. So that put the battery in my back. That gave me even more confidence, because I'm like, wait, I'm back in hockey. Love hockey. So I'm back in hockey, back with the best boss ever, because it wasn't just all these things that he done. You have to really understand him as a boss. Like he's like, we have rehearsals. He's very strategic. He's very critical. Like, listen, we'll rehearse it until you get it right. It doesn't matter. He's that type of person. So that dedication, all of that determined, like I told you, he says he doesn't take no for an answer. So you have to just get it done, and you have to do it. So he's one of the main reasons too, that like that instilled so much more confidence in me, just because of the type of person he is, the type of business he runs. Like a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people, a lot of stadiums, a lot of other people in the industry mock and have had him come in to consult for them and mock his programming, because his presentation is too like out of this world. Like half of our team have won, I think all of the team have won Emmys. So it's like, they're just also an amazing team.
And it doesn't seem like a natural, like if you said a female DJ and hockey on Long Island, they don't, from the outside looking in, because, you know, I lived on Long Island, I know, they don't seem like they would match, but it works because he clearly, he saw something in you, he had a vision, and then it just, and also you kind of went in there. It wasn't the main goal, but it kind of blended it, and it works well. So I congratulations to both of you for kind of twisting on it and making it work. I think that's what.
It's just so awesome. And even to be like so welcomed into the sport, especially into hockey and the culture and Isles fans, and just like amazing people. Like they literally come up to me all the time and like, oh, we love you. Like you do such a great job. Like, oh, my kids want to be like you, like little things like that. I'm going to cry again.
Look, no, I got somebody who came up to me. I said I was interviewing you, and she's like, oh my God, I love her. And she's like, she goes, she's a ticket holder, you know, season ticket holder. And she brings her family. I love her. Tell her I said hi. I'm like, I will, but she'll be listening to this too. She's so excited.
I love you guys. It really makes a difference. And I'm very humbled by it. Like, but cause I have to put on my game face all the time, but I'll shed a few tears for you guys on here.
Oh, and she's got the whole look too. So, so this is so inspiring for so many people. part of it, I'm listening to you now. A lot of it's like experimenting. You sounds like you weren't fearful. You were open to a lot of things. What would you, if you were giving advice to somebody younger, I don't say younger, somebody young, somebody coming up, a kid coming out of high school, college, what advice would you give them?
Well, first off, I have mentored young people my whole life, and I love our youth. They are the future. I've been coaching since I've been 14. I would coach now. I just don't have a lot of time in between to focus on giving myself to others, because people, you have to understand, as a coach, giving advice to other people, that's definitely a goal of mine down the line when I have more time, because you have to give yourself to other people. So that's one of the biggest things that, like, I couldn't do that at that time, but I love helping other people and help mentoring, because once again, people, we could all have the same recipe, but we're all going to mix it up, and it's going to be different sauce. Understand? It's my sauce is going to taste different from your sauce, no matter what you do. So
and that's okay.
Believe in yourself that your sauce, is going to be different from everybody else's sauce. So you have to really believe in yourself. Networking is a huge thing. I know some people are introverts, and people don't understand this. I'm an extrovert at heart and life. Like, that's just my personality. But I am such an introvert. Like, I love to be home. I love to, like, not be bothered. Like, there's so many other things. Like, and people are like, oh my God, how are you always like this in your energy? But that's another thing. You have to know when to turn it on and turn it off. I'm still the same. I don't put on a persona and like, hi, I'm DJ Ria. Like, no, the biggest things my boss have told me, every single boss is, be yourself.
Right.
Put your own flavor on it. Even if I have all my scripts, they give me all the scripts that I have. Don't put it this way. Put it your way. And I'm like, okay, thank you. So be yourself, please. Like, I know it's hard in this dark world sometimes with all these things and social media and the pressure, and it's a lot. And like I said, it's not pretty. Like, I call them the beep beep boys. Like, it's a bad word, but like, I call them that because if the people that put me in positions to test me, if they did not put me in those positions, I would never know what it means to overcome adversity. So that goes back to sports with me. Like, there's a time in the game, if you're down points, you got to dig down inside. You got to find something inside of you that's going to will you to that point. So like, even when bad things happen to me, I'm like, listen, I'm still healthy. I'm fine. I'm I'm breathing. Like, people have no water and food out there, and you're worried about little things. Like, let it go, people. People stress themselves out about the biggest things in life, when it's like, life is easy. Honestly, people make it complicated.
That is true. That's a good way to put things. I've spoke with somebody similar of that topic. I'm like, you could make your life a little easier. Just get some of the negative stuff out of there. Just stay focused and live your life. So there's so much people can learn from you. How could they follow you? So you've got so much going on. I don't even know what, I'm assuming all of you, all the different pieces make you, and we can go on forever. But if somebody wanted to follow you, how would they do that?
Yes, y'all, you could follow me. I'm on every platform, from TikTok to Snapchat to Instagram, Facebook. But honestly, follow me. My biggest, where I can follow and see everybody the most, I'm always on Instagram. So that's kind of, I try to focus on that. And that's another thing. People, back to what you just said, Mark, focus. Don't spread yourself thin. I used to do 5-7 things all at once. Okay. My life sounds insane, but mind you, I did these a lot of times at different points. And I had maybe 5 or 6 jobs at one point. Burned myself out one year. I was doing way too much. I never been sick ever like that. I just remember just being tired, dehydrated, things like that. And I'm like, this is not good. Like, I need sleep. I need rest. So like, don't spread yourself thin. Focus on, like, for me, what works for me. I focused on 1, 2, 3 things and that works for me. I call it my triple threat. So like, I have sports, I have fashion and entertainment, and all of that kind of go in one hand. So it's like, that's kind of what I put my focus in and found like my niche for that. So you can follow me at Ria5, RIA 5. And that's, I think, goes across for like Twitter, X, or whatever it's called now, like all of those platforms. You could find me on that. And even YouTube, I have a channel on there, DJ Ria. But yeah,
And then people can, if they wanted to listen to you DJ, it's all on social media. They can just follow you and figure out where you're at any time.
It's on social media. I'm on SoundCloud. You could go look me up, DJ Ria on SoundCloud. I'm on Mixcloud, DJ Ria as well. You go to my website, djria.nyc. And you can also find some mixes on there. I literally need to do more, but I'm just so busy with life.
Right.
And
you never know.
I loved COVID because I got to do nothing and I got to just go on live and just do live mixes. And I'm really sad that they got to that because they used to cut my lives off all the time once everybody started realizing that it was copywriting. And I'm like, guys, but this is music. It's for the people.
Yeah.
So I was just sad about that, but yeah. And then if you guys want to follow me, I'm working with a bunch of different teams. I forgot to add those in. The Liberty, I said a little bit about them before, but I ended up DJing for them. I forgot to put this in there, and then became a host for them. So people didn't know this, but during COVID and all that, I was the DJ, which was the coolest thing because they were kind of grooming me to be the musical director at some point, like having that influence. So having that background, being on headset, I had 2 headsets. I had 9 people talking to me on one, my mix on the other. It was like this chaos. But I had that experience from working with the Rangers when I was the floor director, because 90 people would talk in my head and I had to cue you, go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why people are like, it was insane.
Oh, you're doing all that.
So
wow.
my background and all of that like helped me. So then now being on the flip side of it, being like the stage director now to being the talent, it's the coolest thing. Cause it's like, when they tell me what to do, I'm like, oh, I was that person telling me what to do. So now I have more direction. So I love it. So you can catch me at a Liberty game. I'm also with the New York Giants. You could catch me at the New York Giants
too. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I do the pregame for the WFAN show for them. So if you guys ever see the WFAN show, I'm on the MetLife 50 stage in the stadium. So come see me. I'm always there pregame. And then I am with the New York Islanders, Isles Nation. You guys can check me out there as well. And my new job, I'm with the Brooklyn Nets. So I'm also a host.
Congratulations.
For them. Thank you. So you can catch me at one of those.
Well, thank you so much for doing this. There's so much we could talk about and inspiration and your path and everything. So definitely people should check you out no matter if they live in New York, they can go to any one of the stadiums. It sounds like any of the tri-state areas you can follow you, or any of the cool new clubs or hotels you're performing, or an event, you can see her there.
I'm at Pergola every Monday and Thursday. That's the residency. So if you guys are around and you like Mediterranean food and hookah, I'm there every Monday and Thursday. Shout out to Pergola.
Okay, great. We'll put that on the notes. Thank you again. We'll chat soon. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to sign up for our email newsletter at markstevanagency.com and subscribe and comment on your favorite podcast app. This is creating the perfect experience where passion meets inspiration.